Hey there. Today, it's Friday. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do. Come hang out here. It's not Friday, is it? It's Thursday. Oh, fuck. My mind is already in tomorrow. Scratch all of that. I'll save it for tomorrow, if I remember. It's my Friday. My Friday is your Friday today. Welcome to Friday. You'll get two of them this week. This is just an open panel. I can only go for about an hour and a half today. And then I got to do my Toastmasters tonight. So tonight's topic is passion projects. The Toastmaster topic, not this one. Although we could talk about passion projects here if you want as well. Hey, Daniel Berry. Today's your birthday? Wow, happy birthday. Yo, happy birthday to Daniel Berry. Y'all give him a go check out his channel. He does sports stuff. Hang on, let me drop your link. One second. Yeah, happy birthday. That's a favorite satanic holiday. All right, there's Daniel Berry's channel, and let me get him a birthday cake. Here. There's that, and there you go. Hey, Bex, what's up? I'm just hanging out, unwinding, and this is my first full week of work. I go back Monday, so I'm winding down. I'm going to Toastmasters in an hour and a half, and in the meantime, I'm doing my daily stream that I've committed to doing. And I'm gonna I was gonna look at news and tweets and stuff, but the panel's open. If anybody wants to come up. All right, let's look at the world. Trump, Ukraine, Elon. Did I guess right? Let's see. Ooh, terror attack in Israel. What? 3 buses explode? Oh my God! I thought they had a cease. I guess the ceasefire ceased. And then I saw that Hamas parade with the coffins too. Kash Patel got confirmed as FBI director. Is he the guy that did the internet net neutrality thing? That got rid of net neutrality? I don't know if I trust him. We might get some Doge money. And the judge said that Trump could keep firing people. Actually, he declined to hear the case. All right, that's the news I see on my end. I'm sure there's plenty more. You can tell me about it if you come up. Hey, dog. What's up? Dirty dog. Dog. And then I might have some tweets. Let's look. Right-wingers create imaginary crises. Left-wingers take real problems and escalate them to crises with outmoded hyperbole. I would say hyperbole is the mode, the latest mode. I wish it were outmoded. They suggest that disasters since 2019 have been amplified by a factor of 3, I would say 10, 100. The whole suggestion is absurd. I agree. Oh, here's a good one. See what you think about this, because I had just like I had a different experience of the education system and paying taxes and civic duty. I had a completely different experience of the pandemic. But this guy says that the pandemic and the politicization of the responses to it really broke everyone's brain and sapped whatever goodwill and healthy common gregariousness would normally exist in society. So many people are now isolated from human society, spending far less time going out. I was one of them, still am. No longer interacting with each other as much as real life, which really is a fundamental fundamentally necessary touching grass activity for the human psyche, just to reaffirm one's own humanity and that of others. A few egghead introverts can perhaps do it through mental gymnastics, but a lot of people start to warp and lose their humanity without direct human interaction. To truly recover from the pandemic and the animosity and distrust it engendered, hang on. Really need to rebuild human society, reconnect the analog wires that were unplugged. Human beings need more than Wi-Fi or 5G to truly connect with each other. The pandemic didn't engender animosity and distrust. If there's animosity and distrust, it came from within people themselves. It's not the pandemic's fault. The pandemic can't create an emotion. Emotions are in reaction to something, but they're created internally. They're engendered internally. And it's a choice. People don't have to have distrust or animosity because of the pandemic. They can get over it. All right, let's see. And I am one of those people. I locked down and I loved it. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And I loved almost every second of it. In fact, I'm just now coming out of it. I did it for 5 years. I liked it so much. I would have kept doing it if I didn't have to go out and pay the bills. So I'm just now trying to reconnect to humans here in my immediate environment. So I don't know. I don't know. It didn't traumatize me like it did everybody else. Hey, comrade, let's get radicalized. Yeah, that sounds fun. The satanic booth. I think Trump's more of a nincompoop and self-absorbed than I see him as anything evil. I certainly don't see him as dark, like gothic Trump, dark MAGA Trump. He cheeks it, looks Mexican. Hey, Talcott, Jack, what's up? Hey, Jack, did you hear that we were talking about all going move into your house for a couple of weeks and do a panel show, like a live reality show in the panelverse? Because you know those people just went to Vegas and they got a house in Vegas, Mel Pandora and that. And I said we should all go to Jack's and bunk with Jack for a couple of weeks and stream it. We could probably all get our numbers up. Nincompoop. All right, let's see what else. I think that's. Oh, did y'all see this? This is the world's first bipedal musculoskeletal android. Take a look at this. This is some piece of technology that just got invented. It looks awkward. Why does it have to hang? Like, does he ever get to come off the wires? Anyway, that happened. Okay, I guess that's all the tweets I have. So now it is just open panel and me monologuing. Yeah, yeah, kind of, sort of. It's something that just somebody created recently. Kind of like the robot dogs. I had a ex that I don't even like to claim him. He thought he wanted to start a robot company. He thought he was this robot genius. He made like Daleks, you know the Daleks from Doctor Who. He had these metal frames, you know the flat metal, what do you call them, bands you can buy like at Home Depot. He would weld a bunch of those together and make a frame and put wheelchair motors on them and then decorate on top of them. He called them robots, and he wants to start a robot company. Yeah, I think it is Daniel Barry's birthday. So. All right, what is a CNC machine? Wait, don't tell me. I can look it up. I forgot. I have Google at my fingertips. Oh, look who we got. What's up?
Nothing. How you been, Jeff? It's been a while since I've stopped by.
Yeah, it sure has. Very very busy. I'm a working man now.
That's what I heard. This is your first week, and what's the feeling? How are you feeling with it?
It's it's not bad. It's
Good.
it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted part time where I could go do some kind of mindless work and leave it there and not have to take it home and worry about it. And that's exactly what it is.
Beautiful. Good for
So far,
you.
it's stress free. Um, I guess I'm fitting in with the coworkers. If you focus on your work, though, you don't really have to do too much fitting in. So that's my plan.
True.
How are you?
I'm feeling blessed, man. I'm feeling blessed. Hey, the idea, yeah, come and join me. Let's
Are
do this.
are you serious?
Why not?
Well, because they said that you're not going to have a house soon. So I'm like,
Well,
okay, well, scratch
yeah,
that.
there's only a few weeks left, so
Oh, so
got
this
to
is the
do
time
it.
to do it.
Yep, regardless of the weather, regardless.
Oh,
It's
I just remembered. I have a job. I
you got a
forgot.
job now.
Man, if you had caught me 2 weeks ago. Oh,
That's all right. It's all coming together, Jeff. The future. It's all coming together perfectly.
well, you seem in good spirits. What are you going to do in 2 weeks?
I have no clue.
Hmm.
Closer to 4 weeks. I got about a month left, just under.
Cause
Um,
okay, and you don't have the option of extending it this time.
nope. It's right now. I'm at a point. Well, I've been thinking about this quite a bit over the past few days, and I'm poised for miracles. Miracles got me to this point, and it's going to take miracles to get me out of this mess. So I don't know, Jeff.
Why don't what if why don't you take it on the road and like get you some kind of little RV or trailer that you tow and just start bebopping around the country.
That's another challenge I'm facing. What to do with my vehicle?
What is it? Is it one you could live out of? What
it's a
kind of vehicle is it?
it's a Camry hybrid,
That's a
and
car.
yeah, and it's a great car, and I could live in it comfortably should that worst come to worst, but the hybrid system in it is going out, and that's a pretty expensive repair. So now I'm at the point of the comfortable, reliable transportation. I'm looking at probably a minimum of $2,000 to repair it. You can get another rig these days for $2,000. So I don't know what I'm going to
That's a
do.
lot of super chats.
Right?
Do you, do you have $2,000?
Not for that type of expense, but money
You might be
comes
able
and
to do
goes.
a GoFundMe for that amount, like something small like that.
Yeah. Who knows? There's infinite possibilities.
But you don't seem worried. Like you're trusting in the universe and the
I'm
Lord.
My choice is not trust
Right. Yeah.
and freak out, you know. So I have faith, Jeff. I really do. Faith is a gift that I finally received, but it took more trials and tribulations for me to start discovering it. Um, but faith in the unknown, and faith that I can deal with whatever happens.
Well, it'll be good for people to see it put to the test and see it come through, and you could say, "See, I told you."
Jeff, I kind of think that's why my path brought me online. I've got a bunch of witnesses to me and what's happening. So it's up to God now. It's all up to
You,
God.
well, you you're probably more of his disciple than most people I know. So
Thank you.
if it's in his hands and he can't take care of you, I don't know what to say.
This is the conversation I was having with God like recently. It's like, seriously, I'm in this spot. I'm doing the best I can. My devotion is pretty obvious. So what better time for God to step in? I mean, it's like a perfect story. Because
Yeah,
Jeff,
it kind of is. I hope
well,
he has the same
to be honest,
literary sense.
to
It
be
it
honest,
as somebody that's not even remotely close to being a follower of his or somebody that he would help out or even pay attention to. Even me, like when I didn't even have faith, and my situation I happened. Like I got what I needed. It took care of it. Just it. I mean, I put in work. I made efforts. I had
mhm.
to like look for opportunities to make things happen. But those things did happen. So if that could happen with me, you have way more invested than I do. It would almost be a travesty if it didn't. Something didn't happen.
But it's still in the realm of possibilities. It's still in the realm of possibilities that things don't fall into place and I end up on the streets, you
You're
know?
okay with that? Like you've run through all the
Men-
scenarios.
Mentally, I think I'm prepared. Physically, there's a lot I can still do to prepare. But I got a few weeks and procrastination. I usually work pretty good under pressure, so I'll figure it out.
Are you going to
That's
stream from the streets if you have to?
I don't know. I don't know. Hey,
Hey,
untrackable.
Untrackable. And here's the big question I think people are going to want to know. Are you going to the fireplace? Is it coming with you?
Nope.
Jack, that's serious.
Life brings change, and if
But you
I'm
know what?
gonna,
You did those where you walked around Spokane, you did those on the street. And I think those were some of your that was some of your best content.
there's opportunities.
Hey, Untrackable, what's up?
Yeah, welcome, brother.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
gonna see Provo. You wait and see.
Yep.
Mark these words and get your fork and knife out, 'cause you might be eating them.
Hey, not to keep untrackable waiting, but regarding that comment, this is kind of what I said. Miracles got me to this point in good ways and bad. Because a miracle, it's like the unbelievable. To me, it's unbelievable that I lost my job. It blows my mind. But it's the exact same scenario as when my son's mother left. When she left the marriage, it blew my mind. But that time, I allowed my doubts to destroy me. And I made the commitment never again. And then when I started thinking greater than just living the life I was in the past, being the union president, and even though I was doing good things, when I started believing I could do more, that's when the unbelievable started happening. I was accused of being a criminal. I was accused of stealing and
By your job?
drugs. Yeah, well, my job, and then my ex-wife, and then my friends, and everyone started accusing me of all sorts of crazy shit. And they stopped talking to me.
So
So
the
I
same people that were accusing you were people that were talking to you before, like y'all were friends, so you didn't really know, you didn't see this coming from them.
I was be in my perspective, I can present the case, and I'm not blaming, but I was betrayed by everyone. My union brothers and sisters, the supervisors and managers at work. I was betrayed by my friends, by my family. I was betrayed by the local police.
Wait, the
And
police got involved?
yeah,
I didn't
dude,
know that part of the story.
dude, I've had I've had the local police, the postal inspectors, the office of the inspector general. I've had all of these agencies of authorities after me and fucking with me. And it's like, this is nonsense, man.
Are they? But they are you like they're not after you now? You-
No, they're ignoring me now. But
Oh,
I still intend to have conversations with the mayor about the shit the city police did with me, and I still intend to have conversations with the postal service managers and the bosses of the postal inspectors. They're fucking nuts.
is it even going to be the same people at this point? It's been
Nope.
so long.
Right. But it's
Now, was
still
the local police recent, or was way back then too?
2019, I think, was
Oh,
the police.
that's not too far away. That's what all this happened.
It
Oh, I
started.
thought it was way back in time. That was just before lockdown. Oh, okay.
This is the crazy story of Jack's life, though. January 1st, 2018, I committed myself to a better life and a better world. And that's when my life began. That's when I started learning faith, surrender, and love.
And then a year later, that's when all the other stuff happened.
It all started, well, January 1st, I committed myself to being better. And by March, I flew myself to Washington, D.C., and I met with executives of the United States Postal Service. So by March, I was taking actions and steps bigger than I'd ever thought about before, and towards trying to make a better place. First, I was just focused on making the Postal Service a better place to work. And then the idea was that would help America be better, and that might help the world be better. So that was my direction from the start, March of 2018. But at the same time, that's when my son decided he didn't want to be a part of my life. And his mother chose to believe that I was somehow a danger to him. But it's a crazy,
Wow, I didn't know that was that was at the same time too.
yeah.
So it's just so you were just an ordinary like postal worker, and then you January 1st happened. You made a resolution, and then everything started to change.
And that's this, yeah. And it's been an amazing adventure. Before, when I was living the life as a postal worker and a union president, part time dad, I saw life as a burden, man. It was tough to live. I was focused on surviving and I was miserable. I was alone everywhere. And and then my perspective changed. And I started working on me, trying to become better than I was for those around me. Because I loved the people around me. I wanted them to have better. But this life we are living, it's not always as it seems. There's divine forces that are with us. I'm convinced of that.
And hey, untrackable, welcome.
Yes. Yes.
What um what what was the stimulus for making this change in yourself? Did it happen completely internally, or did you encounter some kind of catalyst outside of yourself that led you on that path?
It was both. Um, to when I checked myself into detox, that was the first step, and that happened like in 2016. But I didn't realize how bad I was. But in
So
reality,
there was alcohol was part of it, like the feeling of isolation and loneliness and okay.
for most of my life, yes. And then 2016, I got sober, entered into detox and outpatient program, and I started going to AA meetings, but I was still so confused. I was still filled with fears and anxieties and inner work. I didn't really consider, I saw like psychology, that's for experts, right? You got to be a title of someone to know psychology. I didn't understand. I was nuts. And the thing is I was enabled by the society that we live in. And first, I was tired of trying to die. I kept trying to drink myself to death, and I kept failing
Consciously, like you were aware
consciously,
that, oh
in,
wow.
intentionally. I was suicidal for a long time, and I was just too cowardly to follow through. Too much of a pussy. Um, but what I didn't need to die. I needed to change my way of thinking. That's what I learned. And instead of trying to survive, right after I got sober, then I was still surviving and I miserable. So then I chose to stop trying to survive and start trying to live. And the best way to live is to serve others. I knew that from my military and from the Union. And so I was trying to figure out, how do I serve the world in greater ways to use what I've learned, my background of military and union, the labor. Well, then God brought in the spiritual aspect.
Were you spiritual before that? So that came as part of your recovery.
It wasn't until I started accepting the word God, that there was a God in my life, in 2018. And I consciously set the goal to be more like Jesus. Because honestly, that's what I've been trying to do my whole life. I tried to live good and righteous without God in my life. And I drove myself nuts. So I actually think that what God is doing with me is, it's a perfect story to follow the way of Jesus. And I think that's what God is going to allow us to do, because that's who we are. We are the children of the divine, formed and manifested here into the world at this time to live the life we're living, but for the purpose of greater things. I envision Jeff sincerely, somehow, some way, maybe before March, hopefully before March, but I'm trying to find a way to get the attention of Donald Trump. Sincerely.
Oh, you want it? Most
Yep.
people, a lot of people are having buyer's remorse lately. Um,
He's
to me, that would be easier to do than you might think. To try to get the attention of more normal people,
That's my
because he plays
goal.
by his own rules. Oh, you're on Twitter, or what is the thing he's on? Truth Social or
Through
whatever.
social. I've tried that. I've tried reaching him on X. I tried reaching him email. Um,
What about
here's
one of his family members? Or
That's another approach. I tried some of them on the social media. um, here's the idea. We don't know what the future's going to bring, but
No, definitely not now.
my personal testimony, if you can trust me as a man, or at least trust the words for yourself, I found myself on this path of spirituality, not only accepting, but truly seeking to know the divine aspects of God. And if I'm right, we are here. Donald Trump and America, it's I can see everything perfectly aligned. What the world is seeking, what the world has been waiting for, is a greater leader to emerge. Many people think that greater leader has emerged in Donald Trump. And Donald Trump he's bringing in the experts, right? He wants to bring forth American supremacy, but he's under the worldly beliefs. He doesn't understand the greater picture of justice and reform, the true potential that's available. We have the opportunity, America, right now, especially with Donald Trump, where he is and how he is, we have the opportunity to bring peace to the world. I know Donald Trump wants to be that. He wants to do that. I want to help him accomplish that. True peace on earth, and truly expose the deep state, the corruption, so that mankind is free from the lies, free from the secrets.
Free from the what?
Secrets.
Secrets and lies. Untrackable, you have any thoughts on this or anything else? What's up with you?
Well, from what I've heard, and Jack, you and I we've talked before. Um, the path of life, there's many. There's not just a single. Every choice you make sends you down a path. The troubles come as they will. You know what they mean. And it doesn't mean that just because you had troubles on a path that it was the wrong path. And there will always be a fork in the road. And then you get another choice and another choice and another choice. And based off of, don't forget the path that you were just on. But it may not carry on to your next choice. And so on and so on and so on. And such is life. So we wind up where we wind up because, hey, we can kind of foresee what we perceive the future to be as far as the path. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that you say. I'm not a Jesus dude myself, but I can say that if you don't learn a lesson from whatever path led you to the next fork in the road, you will have no tools to carry on into the next choice that you make. And that's why I like talking to you. Now, where you are, I did not walk your path, and you did not walk mine. However, I gotta say, keep walking, man. And thank you for being you, and thank everybody for being everybody. But this whole, I'm sorry if I have to say it the way that I have to say it, is this salesmanship of getting other people to walk your path. It comes off, it comes off kind of coarsely, because, hey, maybe somebody hasn't reached that fork in the road that you've been down to even make that decision at your point in life, to where they're gonna, veer off and follow, you know, the street lights, or the horse with the, what do they call it, the horseman with the candle lit. You know what I'm saying?
Who? This Sleepy Hollow? The 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 horse? Was it? Is it Jack o' lantern head?
If somebody is lighting the way for you, it, it doesn't mean follow it. If your heart desires to go down a different road, it doesn't mean that they're not both going to be hard. It just means make your decision and stick to it.
Well, I missed the sales part. I guess it wasn't very.
Well,
It wasn't. I. It must
I,
not have
I,
been that
the,
good because I didn't have the urge to buy anything. But I missed the
oh,
salesman part.
well, the Jesus thing to me always comes off as it doesn't matter. It's not just Jack.
I was about to say Jack or just anybody when anybody does it.
It's not just Jack, but Jesus has been shoved down my throat since the day I was born, and it will never go away. However, if you don't own your decisions and the path that you choose, you won't learn lessons, and that might drive you towards Jesus, and it might drive you down, not necessarily away from reality, into obscurity, but it might just drive you straight into uh, visceral proof that you are just you, and you have to continue driving on and continue making choices. You know what I mean?
Jesus seems like a pretty cool cat.
That's my opinion.
I, I'm not trying to be
I mean, I'd
anti,
hang out with him.
Yeah. No,
but
you
at the
what you
same
said.
time, I cannot be so pro. I mean, I'm old enough to know it. To me, it's a great story, and it is one that teaches so much to so many, if you can understand the literature. But many people have to understand the physical world that they're living in, and there is no Jesus uh, that is going to do the work for them. Praying does not um, cure your illness. Praying to Jesus does not do work for you. You have to do the work regardless of what you believe in, every step of the way.
No denying what you're saying. And here in my own, this is my own testimony as well. The way you described it, Jesus was kind of dumped on you or forced on you, and it left a bad taste in your memories. That was me. I judged Jesus and the entire Bible and everything based on the product. And the people I saw coming out of the churches, yeah, I was just like them. I didn't need to waste my time, right? Figuring out what this other guy might have been saying. In my own experience, though, I started out trying to understand love. And to understand love, I had to get through the lies. So then I realized it was the truth. It was the power of truth that set me free from my lies and from my confusion. So I started to see truth as my God. It's the unseen God that I know, that we all know, the truth. And then as I started looking at the truth, the wisdom that's left in the red letters from the master teacher, Jesus, he's all about love. And if you tie those two together, truth can hurt, truth can crush you, and it will. But it's the power of the truth that empowers us. And love, love leads us to the truth. Without love, we get lost in lies, deception, and without the truth, we can get lost in delusions and fantasies with love. So it's a fine balance between the two. Love of the truth. That's what I found for myself. And I use Jesus as the example. He's the perfect man, a man who's not lashing out, not afraid, not, I don't know. He seemed pretty wise, and I bet he's got a hell of a sense of humor too.
Well, I think perfection, even in the stories of Jesus, I think perfection is I think it's a fallacy because I don't think it really exists. Perfection is synonymous with beauty, is synonymous with uh, you know so many other words where it's like, hey, what does it mean to you right now?
Perfection or beauty or love?
Hey, what is love right now, and what is love after 30 years of trying to uh, continue the continuation of? Because if you're perfect right now, what are you going to be tomorrow? What are you going to be in 10 years? What are you going to be in 30 years? Love. Oh, I love you right now. But is that love, does it develop? Does it change? Does it have, I'm struggling for words to describe how time goes by and things change and people change and people learn and people, hey, nature in and of itself will not be the same today as it was tomorrow. The flower that you planted, um, when's it gonna bloom? When's it gonna bloom? Oh, it bloomed, and now it's dying.
Well, the Bible tells you, it says love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud,
And
it does
is it
not
forgiving
dishonor
when it's
others, it is
is it
not
forgiving when
self-seeking.
it's no longer there anymore?
Um, I don't know. He didn't haven't got to that part. Let's see. It does
Well,
not
here,
delight in evil, but it rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. That is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8.
And that's what most people say when they get married under, the Christian faith. You know, they answer to the I, whoever's officiating. However,
Like the
the
priest
the
or whoever's in charge.
there's a word that I said that is forgiveness, and that's not mentioned in there.
Not in that one. It's in the Bible somewhere, forgiveness.
well, here, the thought that came up with what you were describing. I think love is limited by our awareness. And the question of forgiveness with love, there's no judgment. And so without judgment, there's no need for forgiveness. That's what I think the message of Jesus was about. It's truly love.
And I think that's kind of what I got from the story as well is, hey, I'm going to give. I already accept you for how much you're going to hurt me from day one. And how you talk about the story of Jesus, how much did they hurt Jesus? They took his life, right? So when it comes to giving yourself to somebody from the moment you meet them, you can draw a line, but if the line is your life, you can do anything to me and I will still be by your side. If that makes any sense. That's how I see it, being who I am.
It's a beautiful description of love, the willingness to give yourself away. Because love moves beyond space and time.
I have hope that my failures won't be enough for you to kick me to the curb, but from within me, your failures, I will accept as my own.
Well, it depends on the failure, because I will kick people to the curb over certain failures. Not. That's what I was going to ask about this love thing. Like, what if somebody's running you through with a samurai sword? It's not just, oh, I love you, I don't judge you, therefore I don't even have to forgive you. Just go ahead, brother. Work that sword. Like there's a point at which it just becomes impractical to. But I don't know. I have a old burnout lump of coal where my heart is, so I'm trying to like
Mm,
figure out love myself.
good for you.
And
Because
again,
I
I
know
am
that.
not I do not consider myself a Christian, but I do try to understand these things.
That's the key. To seek, first we must seek to know. And awareness, that's where the awareness comes in. Our path to enlightenment is recognizing what is it we need. And so we find what we need. We need these answers. And so we seek the answers. Now, the next part, though, is to accept that the answers have been given, to accept that you do know, and accept that you do have what you need. What you need is eternally there. It's This is what I've been working with myself on. Okay. Is not only to seek the answers, but then to allow myself to accept. Sometimes I get a partial answer. Sometimes I have to
What
accept.
answers from where? Like from within,
Anywhere,
or
anywhere.
it can come from any. Like, okay.
Yes. But it'll all be in my mind. So the key is to pay attention in your mind to make sure that you're seeking what you need. The mind of the society we live in today, it profits from our distraction and from our habits of confusion. I'm evidence of that.
A lot of people don't know what they need. How does one determine what they
Mm,
need? Or
that's
sometimes we think we know what we need, but it's not what we
mhm,
really need.
mhm. That's the game. That's the game we're living. It's a game of life that we're participating in. We don't know what we need until we need it. And then we we think we need things, and it turns out we needed nothing. And that's really what we need. We need the no thing, the nothing, so that we're whole with what we have.
Where does love come in then? because there's certain things like a body need. We obviously need water, food, sleep, that kind of. So there's things a body needs, but then there's more than just that. Like we can't just keep our bodies alive and live a complete, whole and fulfilling life. So there's other things, emotional or intellectual or social, like human needs. I almost said spiritual, but I was holding off on that for just a sec. So is that where love is one of those things? I read a passage about Plato the other day about he called it eros, um, being a bridge between all the other parts of ourselves, like the purely intellectual and the animal part of us, et cetera, et cetera. It was like the central, not transcendent because it's involved in all the other parts of us, but the unifying force or factor to all the other parts.
I you brought up a lot.
Oh, okay.
The philosophies of Plato, I love those too. There's
Well, Jack told me to think. That's why the other Jack. Sorry, Jacks. We, yeah. Tomorrow I'm doing a little passage on Aristotle and some Greek philosophy and the emotions, their theory of the emotions.
I
Well,
love
that was his point. It was all of it, and the Greeks had like 11 different words for love. They had so many different types of love, but that was his point. Was that it was libidinal, but it was also higher, rational, spiritual. It was all. It was like it couldn't just be pigeonholed into one of those categories because
it's
it brought all of them together. It wasn't just the animal part of it. It wasn't just lust.
Well,
it's
if I can interject on that, as far as being around others, um, I have learned something that I am useless to you, being not me, if I am not the best me. However, being the best me may mean understanding the worst of me and not projecting it upon others, which means I may have to experience some very horrible things in order to not project them upon you. And maybe I can give you the information upon my experience upon those horrible things in order to deter you from having to have experienced them yourselves. However, now you know they exist. Will you go down the same road? Like I said about paths earlier, um, good luck to us all sometimes. I cannot stop you from going down the same road that I went down, but having gone down it, I can either show you, um, if you watch it, or I can tell you, hey, I did this, don't do it. But that's not going to stop you. You have to make a conscious decision having that knowledge, the not the no, the no, like you said, Jack, you you know, but be having heard it doesn't mean you know. It means that you have heard it. And now it becomes a question in your own mind. Do you go down that road or do you not? To save someone, you let them know first. And maybe, hopefully, you're there should they go down that road.
But what can you
And you're
do? Like all you can do
able
is
to
give
get
them the information.
that, yeah. And when they go down that road and they fail, maybe somebody that's already failed and has survived that road can give them a hand and be like, hey, come with me. I'll take you back to you know, the main road where you can make another decision. But that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I guess you can be there for them too if they need help finding, like coming back, like be like an anchor point if they want to come back. But you can't really walk their path for them, and you can't. you can't really rescue them from themselves. Like you can try to convince them not to go down the road, but I don't, short of using force, you can't really keep them from going down the road. And if they do go down the road, all you can do is be there as a resource if they need you to. Oh, Chuck, wow, thank you. Where you been too? I was thinking about you the other day. Like we never see Chuck anymore. I assumed you were really busy with your life. Let's see who our new outliers are. Um, we have Talcott. Chuck just got you a membership. Welcome. Chopper Jeff, Traveling Fools. Oh, and the bad guy. I remember him from the other day. Thank you, Chuck.
And Tommy D.
And Tommy D. Is that Tommy? Our Tommy? Tommy D?
I don't I don't know which
Well,
Tommy, but that was amazing. Chuck, thank you. I was the first one it threw out.
that
So
might be a sign. That
it's
might
a
be a good
sign.
omen.
It is. It is. Um some of these ideas were about our individual paths, and really what you were offering untrackable, those were words of wisdom. Sincerely, from experience, I'm sure. But this is the key that I've learned for humanity. For myself, I had to learn how to learn from others like me. I learned how I had to learn how to trust other people like me. And the more I was able to do that, the more I was able to learn from myself and to trust myself. Can you save someone who doesn't want to be saved? No.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of what I was saying. You can't force someone who's determined to go down that road. You can't really force them not to.
this is where the mystery behind Jesus comes in again, right? You follow his way, you lead. And we can help lead each other out of our own paths of self-destruction. I've wondered often what would have happened if during my real disease of drinking, I wonder what would have happened if someone would have pulled me aside and said, "Hey, Jack, let's talk about what you're doing. What do you see what you're doing?" Had someone done that for me, I maybe my life would have been totally different, but
Would you have listened, do you think? Or cuz
I
like
don't
what I know about alcoholics is they don't really listen when people do that.
Well, you're right. And this is what I've been studying. I've been learning how important it is to communicate. How do you communicate with another human being? Much of my life, I used to believe I couldn't communicate with a woman. I mean, I thought the gender made such a difference that we couldn't understand each other. And that's the way I lived too. I couldn't understand women. I couldn't understand me.
Sometimes it seems that way.
Well, there's mysteries in both genders. In all people there's mysteries, and that's what I learned for myself is I don't know the trouble, I don't know the experience of someone else. Even when someone else shares their story, you still don't really understand what someone else may have dealt with or is dealing with. What I've learned, what helped me, was listening to others and learning about their stories.
Hmm.
Because when I really got down to it and I looked at myself, God has blessed me my whole life, man. Compared to many others, there's so many people that are lucky to be alive for many different reasons. So,
You make a good point cuz we're all still here. We've been like almost every one of us have been through the shit. And we are still here. There and I think of the people in my life that aren't anymore and they don't have like just the fact that we're here, that we made it, we came out on the other side of something is, I don't know, it seems like it should count for something, and it's definitely an opportunity.
Jeff, I actually think there's a mystery to our online connections. There's several small community type things between the different streamers and broadcasters, and all these misfit communities and all these misfit groups, they kind of overlap each other. But Jeff, from a honest perspective, people like you and me and many others, we're the outliers. Like your screen says, man, we're kind of exiled and on the outskirts of society, which gives us the most clear view of the insanity.
Sometimes it seems that way. Like definitely the on the outside part, but the clear view. It does seem like part of the reason we're on the outside is because we see shit that they don't, and that's part of what puts us on the outside is our point of perspective.
That's where the radical ideas come from. And I think that's who we are. We're the radical ideas that have been brought up into this dysfunctional society. And the question remains, what are we going to do?
And they none of them really seem that radical. It's like use your critical thinking, use your common sense. Yours is love.
Mm.
Don't fight and kill people all the time. Like none of that seems radical, but it
Right.
still has us on the outside for some reason.
Well, Jeff, this is the insanity that's coming from over 2,000 years ago. It's the same dysfunction that killed Jesus is it's
And
continuing.
Socrates too.
Yeah, and many others.
Yeah.
Stupidity kills. And
Yes, I can co-sign that message.
I think there's a part within us as people. It's a self-destruction mechanism. And if we don't choose to align with the truth, we let stupidity win.
Never,
Well,
never.
stupid.
No, it tries really hard. Sometimes it's a losing. It's when it's you against all of stupid, the whole army of stupid. Sometimes it seems futile, but I've never given up the fight yet.
I don't know that there is a limit to the depth of stupidity that's available, but that means the counter is true as well. There is no limit to what we can learn. There is no limit to what we might be able to accomplish
Hmm.
if we align with the truth. And the truth is, secrets and lies, they corrupt individuals, they corrupt nations, they corrupt corporations, and the corrupted minds have elevated people like Donald Trump. And they're playing this game where he's king of the world, man. Have you seen
In his
this?
mind, I don't think
No,
he's.
dude, it's being played out. He's flying on a plane and he says some words, and the next thing, the corporations are renaming the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf
That
of
was
America.
ridiculous. Yeah, I was not.
Right?
I was not down for that. That you talking about Google Maps renamed it,
Yeah.
and that was ridiculous. That was. I don't know why they did that.
They're
That was
allowing
silly.
him to play king. He called himself the king recently. Oh
Well, they
shit,
need to
that's
get him a
right.
Burger King crown, or something like.
He's he's oh my god, it's such a beautiful story. It's so crazy. It cannot be imagined, but this is the reality we live in. Jeff, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I my hope is to take this dysfunctional radical group of misfits who we all are, because all of us, the people tuning in too, you got to look at yourself if you're
Oh, you
tuning in to the
don't think
crazy.
you guys are exempt or above it all?
That's right. Just because you're not on
You're
the
in this
panel,
with
but
us.
yeah, doesn't mean you're not part of it. But we all know people. We all know people who know people.
How okay that how can we or okay, A, do we want to get on the radar of Trump and like as as a panel verse, not necessarily as one single person. Do we want to be on their radar? And if we do, how? What's a good way to get out there?
Great questions, Jeff.
Trump, if you watch, Trump's probably not watch. Does he even watch YouTube? Who we got to find out who? Bannon. Bannon's the one that set up all those podcasts for him that he went. We need to hit, and I'm pretty sure Bannon's a Spurg too. So we might have inroads there. He's kind of one of us.
Bannon
I
is a
say we find some way to work on Bannon or get Bannon drift
it's
into this side of the sector.
it's amazing that you said that because
Barron,
that's
not
what I
Bannon.
saw.
I'm thinking of Barron, the son, not Steve Bannon.
Oh,
Oh, I call him Bannon. Okay, but go ahead, run with it.
Aaron the Sun. Steve
That,
Bannon had his ear for a while, and
I don't know if
Steve
I
Bannon.
trust Steve Bannon. He looks like a movie
No,
villain.
yes, he is. He's a brilliant mind. He understands the masses and he understands the systems. That's what helped get Trump elected the first time. I know they had their falling out and all these characters are playing their roles out, but
I was talking about the
you're
little
talking about,
autistic son because
yeah,
he's the one that gets Trump on all these podcasts because he's tuned in. Like if anybody from that group would be watching a show like ours, like any of these, it would be Barron, not Bannon, Barron.
all right.
So we need to find a way to get on Barron's radar, and then Barron will get us to Trump. But
Is
Bannon might be. I just don't know if I could trust Bannon.
Oh, not very close. But if you can get him on your side, bet he'd be an incredible ally. He won't stop. He's ruthless.
Yeah,
Baron though, is is he the one that's like 7 foot tall now?
yeah.
He's
He's the kid. Him and Melania's child. He's the youngest one.
he
And
sprouted, and I saw a
he
picture.
did
He's like,
sprout.
holy crap! Because
And he's
Trump's got
big time.
work.
He's this generation, so he's the online generation. He's into podcasts. He's into the latest influencers and all that shit. And I'm pretty sure he's a spurg. He's autistic. At least he seems
Beautiful.
like it to be. So
Well,
he's practically 1 foot in outlier already.
that's good to
He's
know.
6'9". Are you serious? Wow.
I know he's tall because
Okay,
Trump is short.
I say we try to hit. I guess I'll have to take that one. We we try to get
I love the
Baron Trump,
creativity.
King Trump, Baron Trump.
Hey, if I can swing it back, because truly I love the creativity. And one of the earlier, I don't remember what the earlier question was, but we got into the multidimensional aspects of love,
Oh yeah.
behind all of that is the nature of love. Consider the nature of love. What I think sums it up is creativity and generosity. Within us is a creative nature. Within us is a giving nature. It's naturally part of us, but it's opposed by the selfish, by the flesh, by the beast. Um, so to feed the heart and to find our purpose, it's truly along our life, be creative and be generous, and then you live with goodness. That's love.
Until you keep getting screwed over, like the generosity takes a hit when you keep getting. Like it's harder to be generous after getting fucked over so many times.
Yes, and at what point do you defend uh, your uh, your proposals and your at what point do you you know say, hey, um, I have been attacked, and the best defense is not just drawing lines, but to the best offense is a hell of an attack. What would you say to that, Jack?
There is a time in life for battle, but I believe my battles are behind me. Um, where I'm at now is, in my mind, all battles go to God. I'm here to live the life I can and just to flow with goodness. Because the best battle is the one that's never fought.
It does not exclude the fact that there will be.
There will be challenges to peace, certainly. It's part of the game of life, but life is about overcoming. And to overcome, you must have some sort of resistance, some sort of opposition. And life brings plenty of that.
Mm.
But
I mean,
wisdom is
I would say that the channels that I have visited, and Jeff is a very good one to use that as an example. When people want to use words towards topics and to get their point across, if you come in here just all, yada, 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 I'm going to get this channel shut down because I want to say whatever the hell I want to say, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yeah, you're not making any sense. Goodbye. Uh, but he does give them a chance. But I've been on many channels, and that seems to be it. It's like, hey, if you're gonna come in here and you're gonna talk sensible on the topic, yada yada yada. Hey, you can say whatever you want to say on the topic, or you can be part of the conversation. But if you start being disruptive and going absolutely nowhere and sending it south very fast, it really doesn't matter what you have to say. Goodbye. And that it's not a God complex of, oh, I'm in control. It's, hey, let's all come in here and talk to each other about what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely not a God cop. I would love to never have to do it. I hate the moments when I have to step in and have that kind of control.
the online experience has been something unique. That's for sure. Hey, Jeff, I wanted to be respectful. I heard you say early in the beginning that you had limited time. You had
I
plans
do.
coming up.
I got about 10 more minutes I can go, and then I have to head to Toastmasters. That's Jack. Are you part? Have you been in Toastmasters?
I'm
It
familiar with it,
it's you
but
should
I've not.
check it out. I know they've got to have some local groups where you are. And they help you with speaking, like getting in front of people and speaking, and then they help you like refine your message and hone. I'm using them to help me make my channel better, like my presentation skills better. So that might be, and plus it's a way of networking too. So they might be connected because they're all part of the speech community. And there's so many opportunities to get in front of people and talk. All right. Speaking of, what were y'all saying? People that come on panel and yada 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 and disrupt channels. Hello. What you
Perfect
got? You got
timing.
like 8 minutes. What's up?
What's up, Toastmaster? What are you talking about? What are you doing?
Oh
Toastmasters.
my goodness.
Are you part of Toastmasters? You should join Toast. They would love you.
I don't even
Oh,
know
You
what
could
it is.
definitely use them.
What is it?
It's a speaking organization. They help you get, like, they give speeches and they help people give better speeches and presentation skills, stuff like that. Public speaking.
yeah.
Everybody that does a YouTube channel or panelverse or content creator could benefit from Toastmasters, I think.
So you're upping your game with outside
Yeah, I've been
educational.
part of it. This is like my second, third month.
Okay, so the answer is just yes.
And look, I have I even got ribbons from look best tabletop. Like they
For-
like my speeches.
That's
They give me ribbons.
Give me ribbons.
participation trophies, Jeff. Come on.
No, it's competition because they vote each week on who has the best speech, and I won several.
Is everyone gay in it? Tell the truth.
I don't think so. No, it's all they have all the colors, all the genders, all the sexualities.
Sounds
It's
pretty
very
gay. Is anyone there
diverse,
voting
and
for
it's
Trump or not?
international. It's worldwide.
Anyone there voting for Trump or not?
Probably. It's apolitical,
I mean,
or
the
supposed to be.
the vote is over. So
You seem very tired. Did you come to bring the panel down to wind us down?
Mm.
No,
You look like a Russian. You have that. You wore that shirt 2 days ago.
I wear it like every day. It's my indoor shirt. I clean it all the time, though.
Mm.
It's got.
You don't have to show us your dirty
Warm.
laundry.
It's cold
We
in
don't
here,
air
man.
everything.
Looks comfy.
It is. Thank you,
Have
Mr.
some
Tucker.
decorum.
hey, hold on. You said it's cold in there. I'm not going to ask you, but it is 36 degrees Fahrenheit where I'm sitting.
Holy shit.
It's not that cold. No, it's not because I'd see your breath. Let me see your breath.
No, 36. It's
Oh wow, wow. Surprised your computer works in that shit. You're Canadian or something, right?
Southern, but close.
I can't see it. I'm on my phone. Oh, wow. Well, I'm a sissy. I mean, that's been proven. So you got me beat there. Another man beats me at something else. You know, what can I?
I'm just sitting in my garage, cold as fuck.
Untrackable is tough, man. He presents as the tough man. And
He's. It seems more than
No,
just
no, no,
presentation.
no. No, I'm not tough. I sit in the same place whether it's 90 degrees, 99 degrees, or whether it's 36.9 degrees. I love talking to people, and that's how I get along. I got a family, I got a house to take care of, but late night, you know what? Hey, why not get along with people that I can't reach, that are out there reaching people? So shout out to all y'all that have something to say and have an opinion on things, and that this is how things should be. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about Jesus, whether we're talking about the weather, whether we're talking about the economy, whether you have something specific to you that you need an opinion from somebody else upon. Hey, that's what we show up for. So thank you all for doing what you do. And thank you, Jeff, for having a panel like this.
Well, thank you for coming on. I wouldn't have a panel if people like you didn't show up for it. So thank you,
what's that?
Barney. Any last words? Or are you rolling
Um,
around there, trying not to fall asleep?
I'm doing stretches.
Oh, okay. I
Last
hope you get a
words.
good nap in.
I'm glad to see you're not playing that stupid video game.
No, I'm done. I beat it. I'm done.
Okay,
They
good.
said I was an anarch. I mean, a fascist who hates women.
I could see that.
No, Moose, you can join if you want, but I only have like 5 more minutes, and then I
No,
gotta.
if I heard a moose call, it's time for me to go. But I wish everybody peace
The
and
moose.
blessings.
There was a moose call. The moose was calling.
And I will, Rocky and Bullwinkle, they just can't get along. So I got to go. Peace
See you,
out.
squirrel.
And Jack, you going to talk about Trump or not? He's creating peace
He
in
did.
Ukraine, my
He's
dude.
talked about him several. In fact, we have a plan. Tell him what you think of this. Barron Trump, the kid.
Mhm.
Barron
Every
can hook
parent.
us up with Trump. Barron's the type that would watch shows like ours. So if we can get Barron's eye, we get to the king that way.
Yep. And when we get to the king, I'm going to point out the emperor has no clothes.
Well, I don't know if that's well. that's, that sounds like sabotage.
No, man. Trump will be on board with it. And if we
You
can get
think he
the
will? You're
yeah, I
right, Jack. I
do,
didn't think about that before. Emperor has no clothes. Let me.
dude.
I think you're onto something. I've been a phony my whole life.
He wants to expose the deep state. He just needs to realize his part. And once he realizes his part, the world can know freedom because we'll lead America into repentance and reform. And America will lead the rest of the world as the example we were created to become.
Well,
I'm all for
uh,
that.
just keep your eye on Trump, man. I mean, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, Mr. Talcott. He looks like he's creating peace, my dude.
Barty, keep your eyes on me, brother,
I
and
watch you all
everything
the
else.
time. I watch you in the shadows. Take it easy, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, bro.
I was going,
Untrackable. Good to see you as well. I hope you. I hope you get some warmth.
yes, I'm bouncing. Thank you, Jeff. Untrackable. And if those tuned in, make sure and do the like thing. It
Yeah, and let
helps
me drop
support
Jack's
Jeff.
channel too.
Bless
If you, I just assume everybody's a follower of Jack, but if you're not, here's his channel.
Thank you,
Give
Jeff.
him a like and subscribe. He's live pretty much every day, afternoons.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Much love and have fun tonight.
So,
Blessings.
thank you. You too, Jack. Thanks for coming on. And you as well.
Yeah, nothing special for me. I just hope everybody takes care of themselves as you move along your journeys. And you know what? I hope everybody meets everybody in some way, shape, or form, even in contradiction, because that is the only way that we will challenge ourselves in our beliefs and or find friends. I don't know how else to say it. So thank you again. Have a good night and peace out. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not even going to try to top that one. That was beautifully said. Thank you too, Jack. Everybody. Barney, Untrackable, Jack Talcott. We had Moose in the audience. We have Jack Slaw, Browns Boys here. We have the whole, like half the panel verses here tonight. Dominic, new guru Chuck stopped by. Good to see you, Chuck. Not Law is always here. Um, Shelby, good to see you. Enslaved by Truth. Ricardo's here. All of you. Mike was here. Just love. It's all love, brothers, sisters, whatever other genders we have. All right, I got to run off to Toastmastings, and maybe I'll come home with another ribbon. Here's and I'm out tomorrow at the old time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Same on Saturday. I'll be with Joe on Saturday. Off on Sunday, and then starting Monday, it's back at the 7 p.m. / 4 p.m. time slot. So everyone have a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Take care, and keep loving each other. Let me get my music. As much as you can, even if it's just a little drop, which is sometimes all I have in me. It's better than no love at all. Take care, everybody. Hail.